Hi everybody, it's Sardine Run time in KZN and everybody's getting excited. We're getting our gear ready. It's beginning of June and normally sort of between June towards the end of July things happen, or we hope they're going to happen, and we get all our stuff ready for the Sardine Run. So I get a lot of new anglers ask me, what should we take with to the Sardine Run? Guys that work during the week, they've only got Saturday and Sunday off, so if they go down to the beach, they want to make sure they got the right stuff with them and they're prepared for any situation that's going to occur during the Sardine Run. Right, so I'm going to explain to you guys how I sort of prepare myself to go spend a day chasing sardines, and what I take with me, and how I sort of try and prepare myself to be ready for any situation. Right, so generally when you're chasing sardines, you do a lot of driving. You're going to see a pocket of sardines somewhere, you're going to park your car, grab your stuff, run down the beach and start chasing these sardines. Often they move very fast, these shoals. It's those fast moving little pockets being chased by fish which you want to follow, because that's where the game fish are. So you're going to be light and mobile. That's the first little tip I want to give you. Travel light, make sure you can move. You don't want big bags with you and heavy stuff that you can't run, or you have to leave your stuff and run a K down the beach and you come back and it's all gone. Right, so I try and pack the essential things but as light as possible. To start off with, I always like to take 2 rods with me. So what I'd like to take is a heavy rod. I'll have my Medusa set up with either a jig and drop trace or my shark trace if I'm going to fish for sharks, and the jig and drop outfit if I'm going to fish for Gary Cobb kingies or something like that being chased. And then I'll have my lighter rod. This is I like to take the 15-foot Anaconda L, and I actually spoon with this in the Sardine Run. And the reason I take this long rod with me is the fact that often those sardine shoals are far out and you want to put a 3-ounce spoon, get the distance, get it out far enough to reach the sardines. So this 15-foot rod enables me to get to those fish. Right, so those are my 2 rigs I take with me. On my Medusa, I always carry a spare spool. So this spool here will be rigged with a 200-pound leader and 80 to 100-pound braid, and then the other spool would be my like 50-60-pound general fishing outfit. So it all depends on what you find, what fish are chasing those sardines. If it's big sharks, you'll put on your heavy tackle. If it's smaller fish, you go down to the light tackle. Alright, so those are my rods. So I've got my 2 rods with me, and then in a little backpack, obviously you're going to have your spoons and your jigs. I always carry the 3-ounce Sebile fast cast with me. I've caught many fish in Sardine Run with this. I like this lure firstly because I can get good distance with it on this 15-foot outfit. The braid I've got on my 6500 spinning reel is normally like 40 or 50 pound, so you can get the distance with this. It casts nice and far and it's got a good action in the water, and it works very well in the Sardine Run. So the Sebile fast cast, my 3-ounce, always comes with me. And then I carry the stick shad, the rocket, with me. Often when those fish are on the surface and they're finicky and they don't want to feed that well, I'll throw this rocket, which is a very good imitation of a sardine. Obviously it's a pink color, there's different colors. I'll get the one that looks the most like a sardine and I'll throw that. And then we've also got this Sebile bull minnow, something that's quite new in the market that I'm going to try this year in the Sardine Run to see how that works. Alright, so on my heavier rod, I normally, when I go down to the beach, will have my jig and drop trace on, ready to go. Because if I can see sards out there being chased within casting distance, I'm going to put the jig and drop rig on and try and jig a sardine and catch some fish like that. If it's one of those days where they've netted and the sharks are right in front of us and it's going ballistic, I'll grab put on obviously my 100-pound or 80-pound rig, spool onto my reel, and then I've got 2 traces I take with me. My first trace will be my normal full metal jacket with a single circle hook, nice big 10-0 fusion circle hook, 150 or 200-pound steel. So that one I'll just hook a sardine on if it's close and just lob it in between the sharks and eat the sharks. And if it's a bit quieter and you've got to throw a big bait and stand and wait, and the sort of sharks move up and down every now and then, they're coming in, you can either use that full metal jacket, or if you want to build a nice big bait, you can go old school with a double J-hook trace like this. Obviously your heavy steel, and you can build a nice big bait, 3 or 4 or 5 sardines, a big bait like that. One look through the top of the sardines' noses, and I look at the bottom, so when you get a pull you don't miss the fish. So those are the 2 traces I'll carry with me for my big sharks and non-edible fish. So very simple. I've got my 3 traces, my double loop trace, my circle loop trace, both with steel, and then I'll have my jig and drop trace for my edible fish that are chasing the sardines. Right guys, so that's basically what I take with me. Something else I always carry with me, it's a bit heavy and uncomfortable, but it's my bucket with my cast net in it. So if the sardines get pushed right onto the side, I always like to throw my cast net and get some fresh sardines, which I'll throw in my bait box and then fish that same day with, or take it home, freeze them nicely, and then I know I've got some good quality sardines to fish with. Right guys, so as I say, that's my sort of basic setup of chasing sardines. I really hope it helps you. This is aimed at the guys that are coming down for the first time and don't actually know what to take with them. So I really hope it helps you.